Welcome back to Spill the Tea Ocala. In today's episode, we will be interviewing Kimberly, who's been growing up here, having childhoods here in Florida and especially Ocala for most of her life. She's dedicated a lot of her time to researching entomology, which is the microfauna, but we're also going to be looking at the microflora here in Florida. We're going to see if plants like this underneath the sign here at Cohadro Park are edible or not edible, and what it means to interact with them and the medicinal properties. Welcome to Spill the Tea Ocala. Right now we're here interviewing Kimberly. She's been living in Florida for most of her life, growing up in summers and seeing all the various plants and wildlife, and dedicated most of her pastime and free time to learning about the fauna and flora. So today we're going to be learning more about the flora, since she's well versed in that. So please tell me about some of your interests.
I enjoy the parks. We have a lot of parks in Florida, and I enjoy nature. And I've always been curious about bugs and plants and things like that. So I started studying what bugs and plants were beneficial. And then I got into the benefits of plants and eating them and a lot of the natural plants of the area to Florida.
Mm-hmm. And that's wonderful. That's why I want to speak with you today, because I feel like everyone here living in Ocala is going to want to know what's around them, how they can utilize it, what's beneficial. So when it comes to the environment around us, growing up, walking around, hiking especially, beautiful springs and trails here in Florida, what would you find? What are you finding that you can interact with that stands out to you? What stands out to your trained eye?
There's so much around us that is beneficial that is a lot of times right under our feet that we take for granted. There are Spanish needle, spiderwort, smilax. Today I brought a couple samples of the Spanish needle and smilax to talk about.
Awesome. I heard that also goes by the catbrier. Catbrier? That's really cool.
If you look, you can see the briars. I brought some samples of the vine itself, and it grows on this long vine, and it has some little curly pieces on it. It likes to attach to everything. But it does have these briars on it, so you always want to be careful when you're harvesting any of it.
Yeah, I'm very impressed, because I was imagining, smaller things that are right underneath your nose, but this feels like it'd be so obvious, but when you really look at the forest, it blends in, because it's all over the place. So what is beneficial about this?
It is actually high in antioxidants, vitamin C. You can make a tea out of it. You can grind it up and make like a poultice out of it. But you can cut the tips is actually the part of it that you use.
Oh.
And it tastes kind of like an asparagus. So just the little tips, the nice tender pieces of the tip is what you want to cut. And you can eat it raw. You can cook it. You can have it for breakfast with eggs. It's really good for that. It's been around a long time, and it's actually also used to make a drink.
Really?
It is...
like smoothies? Stuff like that?
No, it is like a root beer.
A root beer?
It's... sorry, I forget the name of it.
That's okay. See if we can find it. It's very interesting.
It is sarsaparilla.
Sarsaparilla. It feels like maybe a hairy asparagus in some ways, for sure. It's very soft. So these large stalks here, you cut these off of them.
That's correct. You find the vine anywhere in the woods, and you cut just the new growth off of the tip, and then you can actually eat it raw. It does taste a little bit like an asparagus. But of course, it's tender like an asparagus tip.
Yeah. Well, there she goes. She's right now. That's awesome. And it's very soft. It's very inviting. It doesn't feel like it's going to be this rough, weird plant that you're scared to touch or you want to wash beforehand. This one feels safe eating raw for sure.
It is, yeah. No, it's one of my favorites. I brought some of the Spanish needle. It also has just as many benefits as far as the medicinal benefits for the vitamins. And you can also make a poultice out of it to use for wounds. It has an antibacterial property to it. It's not as good raw as the smilax.
Is it more bitter or?
Very bitter.
Very
It's
bitter.
very bitter. But you can use it to make a tea. You can add it to salads, so it's not the
Really?
only flavor in the salad. But it does add like a pop of like a raw flavor.
Yeah,
to your
natural,
salad.
earthy.
Yes, beetles love it, bugs love it. It's called Spanish needle because of these little needles on it. You want to make sure when you're harvesting it that you don't get any of those little needles.
That would be painful to ingest. I see.
You
Okay.
just want the leaves, the green leaves, and the blooms themselves. Of
Yeah.
the plant.
It feels like it'd be like a beautiful topping for a salad. Like you have got that flower kind of masterpiece kind of in some ways where you're creating this artwork with flowers and greenery.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I feel like someone could make a dish locally here in Ocala using that. The fact that it grows here,
Yes,
it's fascinating.
Chickens love it.
Yeah.
A lot of animals like to eat it. It brings a lot of wildlife. If you look everywhere, you'll notice it. You'll start to see the smilax plant, every tree that has a vine growing up it. The leaves are very distinct in their shape.
It kind of feels like a dog's nose in some ways. Like it's got that weird like snout. You've got the bridge of it in some ways.
Yes, and of course you can't miss these thorns. It kind of reminds you of a rose with those big nasty thorns.
It doesn't want to be edible. That's what it
No.
looks like.
That is so true. That's so true.
That's funny.
But yeah, most of the plants in Florida, there's a lot of edible plants that are native to the area that you can walk through the woods and pick, dandelions and things like that.
So are some like seasonal based or time of day based? Are they like specialty? I know Florida kind of stays summer year round, but do you feel like certain plants here locally you won't see all the time?
That's a very good question. The spiderwort is a blooming plant that kind of looks like grass. It gets a purple flower on it, and I would have brought some, but it is a morning blooming
Okay.
plant. And so I would have had to have brought it in early this morning so that you could see the beautiful purple flowers. They close up every night, but all parts of that plant are edible as well, and it's actually pretty tasty raw. And
Really?
beautiful purple flowers that look wonderful in salads. And they're good in
Interesting.
vitamin A and C and things like that as well, potassium.
Yeah, that's really cool, especially if you're going for a morning hike. That's when you're going to find these things versus if you're going in the evening. It's kind of going to encourage, I feel like, people to go out in the morning and look for these new purple plants on their hikes and trails.
Yes, yeah. Fortunately, a lot of my yard is natural wild Florida,
Wow.
and I have all of these growing in my yard.
Really?
I do.
Is there anything else that you may not like always find that you have the opportunity to have in your yard? Or is that like, are still
I have
edible?
mulberries in the yard.
Mulberries.
So mulberry trees grow very well here in Florida, and
Okay.
mulberries are nicer than the blackberry because the blackberry gets those real big seeds, and the mulberry doesn't quite, so it makes a better juice.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, we have loquats that grow here, and they're more like a citrus. They grow, they bloom in the winter and come on like in the spring.
Yeah, it's like a smaller orange. I see them all the time. They're
Little
like,
loquats.
yeah, really special. You can just kind of eat them right off. Mindful of the seed inside,
There's
of
a big
course.
seed inside.
Big seed, yeah.
That's correct,
But
yes.
that's definitely really cool.
It is, yeah.
Now we're here out in a trail, taking a look at what we can find and actually apply what we've learned and talked about. So walking through, do you see anything that stands out to you?
So if you look, it's actually right here in front of us now. We might
Really?
not be able to eat the pieces that I see, but it's actually right here. It's this vine that's growing up this tree, but you can recognize it by the thorns. But the piece you want to eat is actually way up high in the tree. So
That's insane.
we will have to actually go further so we can see if we can find any lower that we can actually harvest the ends or the tips of.
Fascinating. I see that really kind of like thick part of the plant with a little bit of a twist. So you're completely right. This is the same one that I'm used to seeing that we just looked at.
Yeah, and it looks like roses. If you weren't careful, you would think it was a rose.
Yeah.
Or the bottom of a rose.
And so you'll find that at any tree that just kind of, it just latches on and tries to keep going on it.
It grows pretty well. It actually gets a berry certain times of
Really?
the year, and the berries are edible as well. Everything in moderation, though. If you do make a tea, you want to be careful not to drink too much of it. The
Really?
sarsaparilla was actually banned, the drink that they used to make smilax.
Interesting.
And they use it to make root beer as well, but in moderation. Otherwise, it could cause an upset stomach or a digestive discomfort.
Right. I can only imagine because it's a green plant, too many green plants and fiber, it's gonna just cause a real rush through your body.
Yes. So in moderation.
Yeah, moderation.
And then of course make sure you always know what you're eating
That too.
before you eat it.
Yeah, make sure you know it's a smilac. Don't put random plants in your mouth.
Absolutely.
Because there are some rough ones out there that we might
Yes, but
see.
we can walk a little further and see if we can find some more.
Yeah, let's see. See, there's so many beautiful trails here in Florida. It's wonderful. Oh, this looks like a
yes.
berry right here, but this one I don't think is edible.
That one I wouldn't eat unless I knew what it was.
Okay, interesting. That's beautiful with those kind of circular, berry-like. Never see like that. It's like a small grape.
But let's see. It would look like
Now that looks
was
like it. You
more-
can kind of see the twisting right here on the side again.
Yes, and you can see where the leaves are just starting to get that shape.
Yeah, so that's a newer plant. Interesting.
So you can see that if you could find the tip of that,
Okay.
then you could eat that.
So that's what's tough is that they grow up so high and they've got thorns on the bottom so plants won't eat them.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. It's preventing animals and wildlife from touching their plant.
But it's everywhere you look.
Interesting.
So some pieces are more edible than others. But you can actually use all of the plant.
Wow. There's definitely a lot of different flora here I can see on this trail.
This park in particular likes to keep the natural Florida, and so they've tried to go through and eliminate any plants that weren't native.
Really?
So most of the items you'll find here are native to Florida.
That's wonderful. And we're actually here at Cohadro Park right now, a beautiful park that I think everyone who lives here will know about. And it's wonderful to see so many diverse fauna. I mean, I don't even know what this is, but how cool. It's a soft kind of plant. Interesting.
Yes, and you can just see it starting.
There you go. It's that same distinctive shape.
You can recognize it by the leaves
Yeah, it's got that same kind of like beak-like shape. I don't know, it's interesting.
and the thorns, of course.
Right. So you gotta watch out. So it might actually come out and grab you and reach and say, okay, eat me.
Yes, and it looks like our trail has been overtaken by a tree.
Looks like it. That explains why they had a little, I think, branch out deterring us from going this way.
But you can see here's more.
I know there's one, and it grows, it's so, almost, it looks invasive the way it's overtaking this fern here. You can see that just poking out on the top, like little dots. Interesting.
But yeah, it's almost everywhere you look.
Truly.
You'll
I'm
always find
impressed.
some of it. Some in here too.
Wow, so I guess that'd be a kind of nice trip to take us, go out on a hike with the family and try and find some smilac, bring it home and maybe make a smoothie out of it.
Actually, we harvest the tips from the property and make like enough to serve asparagus at dinner time.
Really?
Yes.
That's fascinating.
We eat it regularly.
Wow. It's wonderful. I love it. They're beautiful. Thank you so
Yes.
much for showing me.
Oh, absolutely.
I really appreciate you coming here and talking with me today. It's really awesome to learn about these plants that are right all around us. I think it's going to be great for Ocalians to go out on their hikes looking for these plants, seeing if they can find the purple, the smilac, or the cat's briar, as well as some of these
Spanish needle.
Spanish needle. Interesting, wonderful. Thanks so much for talking with me.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it anytime.
Of course.
Thank you.
It was wonderful speaking with Kimberly today and learning about what lives in different parts of the Florida, going on these trails and hikes. I know I'm going to be keeping my eye out for some of these plants, such as this one right here, and maybe use them in the next recipe for a local Ocalian dish. Phenomenal talking with her. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.